What's the difference between Pathfinder and D&D? Hi, I'm Chris Renshaw from the Boards and Swords podcast, and welcome to Role Playing. Two companies have been responsible for producing the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game. First being TSR, which was formed by Gary Gygax when he originally put out and revised the rules that eventually became known as First Edition D&D. Then in the 80s they went and revised them and came out with what they called Second Edition. Wizards of the Coast bought TSR and everything that they owned, including Dungeons & Dragons, and came out with their own edition of D&D, calling it Third Edition, and revising the rules later on and calling them 3.5, where it was the same rule set with a few minor tweaks. However, about 8 years later, they decided to abandon 3.5 and came out with a new edition called Fourth Edition. Now, Fourth Edition was a very different edition of D&D. A lot of people criticized it for having too much emphasis on powers and miniatures-based combat. Enter the company Paizo. Now, Paizo had been making D&D related adventures and guides and publishing for a couple of years. They decided, well, we still enjoy the 3.5 rule set, but there are problems with the game, so they tweaked it and put their own spin on those rules and came out with the Pathfinder role-playing game. But it is still fairly compatible, so if you ever enjoyed D&D 3rd Edition, then most of your stuff will still work and easily convert over to Pathfinder. What editions of D&D have you played over the years? Let me know down in the comments below. And in the meantime, may all your hits be crits.